All right. Hi. Okay. So everyone, hi. Welcome to the very first workshop. Seriously, I don't consider mine a workshop, but then let's start from here, huh? Okay. It's please ask questions if you need to. And today I'm going to talk about story writing in the first place and then building your characters. Now, in probably 45 minutes, you will not be able to get much, but I hope you get the salient points and then develop your characters from there. All right, so this is like a dip in the pool. Okay, probably put your foot in, or a little toe in, a dip only. All right, so the rest is up to you, because when you create a piece of work, it's not about the technical part. Technical is very important, but it's also about the creative part, the part where you feel. Okay, because a story, whatever it is feelings. Okay, right? You can have basically the best cinematics, you can have the best pyrotechnics or whatever, but if the story doesn't move your audience, okay, then it's not a story at all. Okay, right? Okay, all right, so let's start. Share screen. Okay, share. Okay, first, something about me. All right, can you see my screen? All right, thank you. All right, so elements of story writing, what makes a good story? I notice I have pencils here because I come from the perspective of an author. And during my time, I started writing, and like you, I was a teenager, and I had this dream of becoming an author. My favorite is Agatha Christie. I love crime and mystery. I read Frederick Forsyth, and quite, because my father was a reader, and he had lots of books, and so that started my journey into books. Yeah, and one must read, I guess, to write, and similarly, one must watch films. Or I think reading is also very important when you basically want to do something creative. Yeah, and I'm sure all of you have got inspired by different filmmakers. Yeah, maybe even books. Yeah, that you read and you want to. Yeah. Okay. All right. And so next one. All right. So I just want to tell you about my inspirations and about me a bit, so that at least you have an idea why you are here. Okay. So my take is actually to nurture the next generation of thinkers and writers. This is a picture that's about 7 years old. Okay. And I juggle education and publishing. Okay. So I have an education company and a publishing company, to basically nurture the next generation of thinkers and writers, right? So I come from the perspective of basically a book writing. Okay. But my take is, whether you are writing a book, you're making a film or whatever, it comes first from the script. All right. So, and the story is a story. How you tell it basically is crucial. I mean, any of you know what's hot and cold medium? Are you familiar? Do you understand what's hot and cold medium? Anyone? You can just unmute. No? Okay. Now,
Hot and cold medium.
yeah, hot and cold medium in media. Anyone of you? No? Okay. All right. This is very important now. This is the first thing you must learn. That was the first thing I learned. Okay, I didn't learn story writing. I didn't learn any of these things. It just comes from reading and from this very long time as a teenager to want to write books. Yeah. So and then I went into media school, but it was more marketing and all that. Yeah. And then I became a journalist. All right. But hot and cold medium is Marshall McLuhan, I think. Forgive me if I don't remember the name, but
Right. Marshall McLuhan, yes.
okay, great. That was like 20 years ago I learned this. Yeah. So a hot medium versus a cold medium. So just give me an idea. Just give me put up your hands, or just shout out. If I'm looking at a TV, okay, a television screen, a video, whatever, you have this screen in front of you, whether it's a movie screen. Do you think there's a hot or cold medium? Anyone? Just unmute and tell me, okay? Because I can't look at the screen. Anyone? Don't be afraid. I mean, life is about learning. I'm learning still. Yeah. Yes. Isaac, I think.
It's a cold medium
Why is it a cold medium? Why do you say it's a cold medium?
Because like usually in the films, sometimes in films, there's like those people like they're doing something bad, like something using the screens or something.
Okay, the keyword is medium. All right, so you think that it is a cold medium. Actually, you're right, but your explanation is not there. Okay, so hot and cold medium. TV is a cold medium because when you focus on the screen, you don't think, right? I mean, if you watch a movie, you're like absorbed in the movie. You don't think. You just basically watch. So it's one way. All right. What other thing is a cold medium? Can you think about that? Anything else? Okay. What is a hot medium? Like I say, radio. Do you think it's a hot or cold medium? Or maybe listening to songs because these days not many people listen to radio. Okay. So what? Do you think songs are hot or cold medium? Anybody? Gyrate, right? Okay.
I think it's a hot medium because it gives a lot of information.
Other than information, what else?
You all mainly listen than watch.
Okay, you listen, all right. And then what about books? What do you think about books? Books, novels, dot, dot, dot. You know, this printed paper. What do you think? Is it hot or cold? Anyone? Anyone? No? Just put up your hand. It's all right if you give the wrong answer, but by now you should know more or less whether it's a hot or cold medium. Yeah, so books, what do you think? Books, magazines, mostly novels, I would think. Okay, is it a hot or cold medium? Anybody? No? Okay. So books are hot medium. All right. Why is it a hot medium? A hot medium is something that you will read, okay, and then you imagine. Right? If you read a book, these days are ebooks, but if you read a book, what happens is that you flip the page, you finish, or you read, and then it allows you to imagine. Similarly, radio is the same thing. It allows you to imagine. You're not transfixed on the screen. You're not transfixed on video. I mean, I would think that playing a game is, for want of a comparison, it's actually, yeah, you have feelings and all that you play, but it's always you reacting to it. So that is basically a cold medium. All right. So a hot medium is something that allows you to think. It's a medium, as in, the information comes two ways, right? So you read, and then maybe you stop for a while and you love the description of it, just like when you read probably Long Yuan's book, because I think hers was quite it actually moves you. Similarly for it's only up from here. Okay, you can imagine the characters because you don't see them on screen. Now you're going to make them in on screen. Yeah. All right. So know the difference between hot and cold medium. So books, which you are going to adapt the story from, is actually a hot medium. It allows you to imagine. I think when I sat into some of your talks with the author, uh, uh, you asked about the character. Who do you imagine the character to be? Is there any actor, or who do you think you like to play the character? You see, so you imagine when basically you have a book. Yeah, all right. Right. Okay, cool. So so basically what I hope is to groom the next generation of thinkers and writers. And I stopped there for writers because I think whatever it is, important is from everything you adapt, you need a script first. You need to write it out first. Yeah. All right. And well, I guess I worked with quite a lot of people in my life. I've been a publisher and editor and author, wife and mother, but let's not talk about that there. All right. And so I think in life, or I mean, to write anything, the keyword is empathy, because I think you must feel for your characters. All of you are pretty young, but I do know that, I mean, for anyone who wants to create something, you must actually step out of yourself and then go into the shoes of that person that you are going to basically that you're reading about. Okay, because you're going to create this person in film, okay, or video. Yeah, all right, you get me? All right, so that's it. And then Yeah, so strength does not come from winning. I love this. Your struggles develop your strengths when you go through hardships and decide not to surrender. That is strength. That's by Gandhi. Okay, I love sayings like that. Yeah. All right. So well, for me, my writing inspiration comes from my experience in life, but I am in my 60s, so that's a different case. You're all just starting out in life. Um, one must be observant about life, right? Similarly, if you want to create film, be observant. Okay, look at life and create something from it. Yeah. All right. No matter what age you are, if you are going into um, uh, what you call a career, in film or in anything relating to media, the very important thing is observing. Okay, observing, and then basically taking it into you and asking yourself, what can I learn from it, I guess. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's about me. Yeah, I'm gonna go through it. We have such a thing called the great values, and I'm gonna say this: every child has a story to tell, right? So all of you here have a story to tell. So our mission is to give them the right to dream and to express themselves. Okay, through our great values. All right. So what you need to know here is every child has a story to tell. Okay. All right, and so comes my mission. We teach you to create and we sell your creation to the world. That's basically writing only. Okay, I haven't talked about film yet, but basically this is basically our mission and vision. Okay, we teach you to create. All right, that is in books. I work with young authors since 2003, and we work with them to, to look at their stories. They write their stories, and then it becomes a book, and we have an award, and we publish the very best. Yeah. And so comes this part here where I'm thinking, the young authors books can be developed, all right, can be adapted into film. I actually had two books that were adapted into film some time ago, shown on a Singapore channel, all right. But it's a feature film actually. Yeah, they were film students. I think uni, and they wanted to adapt a film, and then there were some books which they looked at, some of young authors books, and they adapted into film. It was shown on Octo channel, which was a children's channel. Yeah, but basically creating, whether you're creating a film or a book or whatever, it takes effort. It takes inspiration, I guess. Yeah. All right. So that is basically creating. All right. And to be fair, I shouldn't say the word teach, because it's inside you. I guide you. I bring it out of you. Yeah, I don't teach you. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, and then so I have the Young Author Club. And these are the anthology series, and then I have the book series which you basically read through some of them. All right. Okay. Fair enough. All right. So that's all about me. Okay, you're not going to hear anymore because I think that will bore you. Now, I am going to give you something about writing that basically I work with my young authors on. Bear in mind you are going to make a film, okay? But also bear in mind that there's a starting somewhere, or I mean there are some tips which you need to know, right? So this is basically a master story model which was created, okay, to help my young authors, okay, they're writing to understand what is a story, okay. All right. And so in everything you do, whether you are writing a script, whatever, there is axis. Okay, I mean there is basically a chart. All right. So what I did with them is, this is the master story time. So whether you there's always a story time. Story time doesn't mean how do I put it, okay, today or tomorrow or whatever. The story time is the time you in your story. Okay, like if I'm not wrong, the story of what's her name, that one that you all, quite a few of you did, Leong Yuan story, Girl in White. It happened in, I think, 2 weeks or something. Those that are doing Leong Yuan story, can you give me an idea when what is the story time? When does it happen? Within anybody? Right, the group from DWC or the Cinephiles, you're doing the Girl in White. So what is the story time? It happened within
2 weeks.
1 week, 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Okay, it happens within 2 weeks. Okay, that is time. Okay, that's not story time. So you gather, you know, the story happens within 2 weeks. Okay, that is actual time. Story time is basically what you need to tell your story. Okay, so you take the moments in that 2 weeks, all right, to basically tell your story. Okay, and so that is what is story time. So it's not like it happens within 2 weeks, so you have to detail out 2 weeks. It's the moments in the story that you the moments in the 2 weeks that you will tell your story. Okay, all right. Then you have this story excitement scale here, which basically varies from you know, all the top, all the way from blown away, okay, right down to dead. All right. So when I talk to my young authors about writing, these are all chapters, okay, chapters in the book, right? And so here basically as with a story arc, if you learn that, you basically have got complications. A story is all about complications and solving it. Yeah. All right. This is linear, meaning it's from here to here. You know, you can tell a story different ways. Yeah. Similarly, you can make a film different ways. Yeah. So you have a problem set up. All right. And then when you come to chapter 3, there is like a point of no return, which is what happens in every story. You have to make up your mind. Okay. I'm sorry. You have to basically you come to this point where you have to burn the bridges. You cannot you have burned the bridges. You cannot go back. So that is how the story develops, and then all, you know, complication of the problem, and then you come to your climax. Yeah. And the climax happens from 8 to 9, I guess, you know, that part there. And then you come to this part, the most exciting, and it basically solves the problem. And then 10 would be you resolve the stuff. Okay, very simple. Okay, that is what a story is about. Yeah, but writing it is not simple, right? Correct? Yeah. Okay, because the techniques of it, this is how you have to do it, this is how a story goes, everybody can teach you that. Yeah, but in creating anything, it is basically you who look at it and say, okay, I might not want this, I could have a flashback in the beginning, you know, and then maybe I could do this, I could do this, you see. So it's you who are creating the story. What this is to help you, I guess, you know, to give you a sense of what to do. Yeah, or how, or maybe how to do it, but you could just change it around. Yeah. Okay, so bear in mind, this is story. All right, but the axes are the same. You have a master story time. Similarly for film, you have a story excitement scale, right? And I always tell my young authors, if by the time they finish the first chapter, or maybe even the first page, and you don't get them, you are never going to get them. Okay, for I guess a filmmaker is probably the first scene. I don't know. Yeah, it could be that. Yeah, so you tell the story in the first scene. Yeah. Okay, all right, cool. Any questions on this? No, everybody is clear. Okay, all right, cool. You have any questions, just stop me. Yeah, all right, because I don't see everybody. Yeah, all righty. All right. Okay, so now is your turn, not my turn. All right, so we have got a print to screen adaptation of The Girl in White, and I think with the you know, of the groups that we spoke to, a lot of issues, a lot of things came up here. You know, the first one that spoke to I can't remember which group, spoke about the new world. I wrote it all down because it's so interesting. The backstory, message to be communicated, which is another thing. It might be good if you could think about the theme, what you're trying to communicate, right? And it does not mean that in a certain sense the books do it this way. You have to follow. You have, as directors, I don't know who or which of you are going to direct the film. You have your own vision of the show. Okay, yes, this is a story adapting, but then you tell a story as well. Yeah, so note that. All right. I know Yuan actually said that you know, something about her ending. All right. Yeah, all right, that's something maybe she likes too. And then there's also treatment of a movie, which I think your other workshop leaders will be speaking to you about, because how you're gonna what sort, how you're gonna treat the show treatment, the script, things like that. Okay, and then what is this story trying to tell you is important. Okay, you had a dystopian setting uh, for Kimberly's show, Kimberly's book, yeah, and then I think she spoke about taking advantage of the youth, and then she spoke about robots and everything, snow in the Philippines, does it snow, things like that. Very interesting. I like that. Yeah. So you question stuff. Yeah. All right. So then you had also it's only up from here. That's Kimberly's book. Sorry, the dystopian one. All right. And then you had wrong number. I wasn't in Celine's work, I mean the talk, I mean the sharing, but I really love her story. Yeah, it's first of all very timely. It's about this girl who couldn't who was in the middle of COVID-19, and she really was stressed and she needed to speak to somebody, and she rang a wrong number, something like that. Yeah, but she actually brought it out pretty well. So it is actually a phone call, and so I seriously don't know how you're going to bring this out, but it's all in the dialogue, I guess, that you have to bring it out. The dialogue, the voice, yeah. So because it's from one person to another, yeah, and I think you can cut in scenes of in between or whatever. But I'm glad that you actually are doing wrong number, yeah. Serendipity is also very interesting, but unfortunately I don't have it here, but no worries. All right. So are there further questions? No? Okay. So what is going to happen is I've created a Google Docs document with the story that you want to do. And I think Miss Amy actually said about the characters, which I want you to sort of like think about, right? This hopefully for the next session will help you. It will help you for the next session. So what I'm going to do is okay, before that. Okay, I'm going to show you two movies, and I want you to tell me about the characters. That might be easier. Okay, I love this. It's very short. Okay, but do note, if you can't hear, you tell me. Some of you might watch it before. I think Yana did. She was in my class. Okay, I like this shot, you actually see this, and then it goes into the boy and the music. Okay, so it's called The Other Pair. Yeah, and it's just two characters in the story, right? But it tells the story without words. Yeah, so what I'm trying to do by showing you this is that there are many ways to make a film. You don't need to have too much dialogue, okay, but it's the expression on the faces which is very important. Yeah, all right, and how you cut into the scene. It's the part where you see the feet, and then you see his slippers and all that, you see. So that is a good one. I think he won some awards, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, all right. So this is basically it's in I think it's very short. It's like in 7 minutes or something. No, 4 minutes, I think. Okay, so this is something you can do. All right, more important is the expression, the emotions that are captured. Okay, the setting, it's basically in a Mumbai train station. Yeah, it can happen anywhere. I don't know about Philippines train station. Is it that bad? I don't know. Yeah, right. So Mumbai, India is well known for that. It's infamous for that. Okay, so this is one called The Other Pair. All right. Some of you actually spoke about animation. I don't know whether you're going to do that. Oh, no, sorry. Right. So I would be looking at is it this one? Yeah, okay. So this is another one. This one I love especially, but it's animation. All right. Just to give you a sense of it. Okay. This also tells a very interesting story. It's called Father and Daughter. Story time. That's how they do it. That's how they do the concept of time. The girl has grown up, and she makes every effort to go to that place. time is portrayed. You see the changing seasons. She's grown up. And then now it's the winter of her life. Yeah. And still she waits for her father. So you can see the seasons of her life, and you can tell now she's a bit older, or very much older, sorry. Right, and apparently, well, in this realm, it's she can traverse that waters before, to go to the other side. Right, so that is basically the story, of oh, sorry, got to move this. Sorry, I'm not good at that. Okay, all right. So 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 you watch both, huh? All right, and both different ways of filmmaking, but both tell a story. They tell it differently, but at the end. So I want to ask you some questions. I actually have something on Google Docs to do, but we could do that later. Right, now I'm going to stop share. Okay, and then maybe you can do it on the chat, because I don't think anybody's gonna unmute and talk to me. All right, so the first one I think is pretty obvious, the message it sends, the other pair, or the shoe, whatever you call that. The second one, okay, it sends a message, all right? So maybe you can type in the chat, what sort of message, what is it trying to say to you? Let's say you're the filmmaker making this animated short, okay? What are you trying to show in that? There's no right or wrong answer. What are you trying to show? Because everybody interprets it differently. Someone? Right, what does it say to you? Something can say to somebody. It's okay, you can put it in the chat, unless you want to unmute. Sandre.
I guess overall it shows the steadfast and unconditional love between a parent and a child, or in the case of the film, between a father and a daughter. That despite the changing of times and seasons, she never the daughter never lost that longingness and anticipation of waiting for her father to come back.
Yeah, right. So it's this love for the father by the daughter. Yeah, because the daughter is the one that basically waited for the father. Yeah, and how it shows, the different seasons. That's techniques, I guess. Yeah. Who other has a different interpretation? Anybody else has a different interpretation for this story? Anyone? Love waits. Not too bad, Dawn. Yeah. So yeah, love waits. You love your father and you wait for your father to come back. That's one way to show it. Okay. What about the last scene? Where she traversed the stretch of water, which is no longer water. Okay. What does the last scene tell you? Okay, I have some people putting up their hands. Leo, are you answering that question about the last scene?
No, po, teacher, no, po, I was gonna answer the previous
Ah, okay,
one.
sure. Add. Yeah. So what do you think?
So my interpretation is that we should cherish the time that we have with our loved ones, and that time and life is very unpredictable and anything could happen.
Yeah. See? So different people have different interpretations. Could be the father went to war. That's another way to show it. The daughter waited, and you can tell in the first scene that the father really loved the daughter, held her up, and she was so small, and then, up to old age, she came to wait for the father. Any other thing? What does the last scene tell you? That's my take. What do you make of it? Yeah, you can unmute. Yes, please. Or you can type in the chat. All right. So what does the last scene tell you? Again, this is your interpretation. As filmmakers,
Yes,
yeah.
Justin unmuted, Catherine.
Yes. Okay. Please tell me.
Hold on, my mic is glitching.
Okay, Justin. Yeah.
To me, the last scene speaks of finally crossing onto the other side, because crossing onto the other side is like a euphemism for death. So,
Yeah.
because she was able to finally cross over to the other side, which means that she's slowly been on the verge of dying. Right? To me, the waters kind of like represent the female character's youth. And so now that the female character's youth has slowly dried up over the seasons, and
Yes.
it's time for her to move on to greener pastures, as symbolized by the grass growing in place of the water.
Yeah.
It's moving on to the afterlife. It's finally like meeting the dad on the other side, like finally making peace with
Yeah.
finally.
Yeah. Yeah, that is one interpretation. Yeah, and the fact that she was lying down, and then suddenly she saw her father, I guess, and then she ran, and it's like she became a young girl. So that speaks of like what you said. She moves on to the afterlife, and then she meets her father. Yeah, that could be that's how probably the filmmaker wanted to show. Yeah, that she moved on. Yeah, any other thing? That's a good one, Justin. Anyone else? Okay, so basically that is the take of it. The thing about film is portraying characters, and it's a short film, and you're going to make a short film. So my take is not to put too much in it. Yeah, you can actually just do one scene. In I your other workshop leaders will be talking to you about it, but for me, if you're doing a short film, don't try to put in too much. Yeah, just maybe a short scene, or something like that. Yeah, that speaks more than basically trying to do the whole story. Yeah, because writing is very different from making a film. Yeah, yeah, you can, I can write 100 pages, and you only have 10 minutes to make that film. There are certain things you have to take away, yeah, but it's always your perspective. Yeah, it's the director, working with the cinematographer and the editor, right? And you mustn't forget the producer lah, to in real life, there is always somebody who has to come up with the money to fund the project. Yeah. All right. So, okay. So the last thing I want you to do actually is to do your character sketches. But I don't think we have time to sort of like for you to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you the Google link. I'm just hopeful that hopefully I'm not so busy. Probably today you can actually work on that. Now, thing about this is that I put it in groups. All right. So I'm going to show you the thing, huh? So maybe as your what you have to wait, huh? Give me a bit, sorry. Yeah, so no elements done already. So I'm gonna go into the yeah. Okay, and then I'm gonna share screen. All right, share screen. Okay, can you see my screen? You can, right? Okay, good. So what I want you to do is to do your character sketches. I put PYFA, Philippine Young Filmmaker Award, my character sketches. So I've done 5 actually. But you work as a group, all right? Because this is Google Docs, you can actually do that together. Group name, what's your group name, and the names of the members. So I have some idea of your characters. I know there is one there's one doing wrong number. There's 2 doing is only up from here, all right, and 2 doing the girl in white, all right. So that's what I've done. For serendipity, I'm gonna put it out later, but the rest of you can actually start doing your group name and name of members. You can actually get together and then do your character sketches, because I think what's important is for you to understand your characters first, and it's good always to do it as a group because you are going to work in a group. Okay, so do this. I'm gonna put it on the chat. Give me a bit. Okay, so stop share. All right, the chat, hopefully. Yeah, okay. So this is the Google Docs file. So if you can go into it, yeah, take a screenshot or something, but click it so that you are there. All right, and this is a group work. I want you to flesh out 2 characters, what Miss Amy said, I think, in her email to you. All right, as much as you can. You have to understand your characters. Yeah. Read the story, that's very important. Oh, Yana is coming in. Okay, read. Okay, no worries. You have yet to decide. DWC Studios is doing the girl in white. Okay, if not, then you let me know. All right. I'll change it. You can actually can I give you like before the next the workshop, I think next Saturday. Probably try and do it like by the weekend. Okay. But you have to decide, guys, which book you're doing, because I think that's very important. All right. So DWC, you have to decide your character, I mean your book. All right, serendipity, I'm going to put it up here. But what is also very crucial is the fact that you start doing your character sketches. All right, it's just a draft. Okay, because characters come and go as you write your script. You know, you might think, maybe she's not like that. But if you know your characters, okay, the script is easier to write. All right, because you know what's going to happen. And another thing is also a scene in the book, if that is something that you know, you can think about. All right, but I'm going to leave it to your 2 other workshop leaders to actually bring that, because they're all you know, they've done films and they are very, very famous. Do you know Patrick, Yana's father? Okay, but they have, you know, lots of experience doing film. Okay, I come from the perspective of books. But whatever it is, books, film, radio, okay, there's always a script to be written. Yeah? Okay, and you always have to understand your characters. Yeah? Okay? All right. Any questions for me? Try and finish it so that I'm going to have a look at it probably on Monday. So I'm going to give you a few days to finish it. Try, okay? Because if not, you know, for your next workshop, you know, you could actually be discussing character, because character is very important in any story. Yeah. All right. Okay. So any questions? Anybody? No? No questions. All right with it. Okay. So the Google Docs file is here. Okay, just click into it, and I'm going to put up serendipity. Once you have a group title, you have your group name. Okay, so I'm going to put that up, and then you can work on that. Yeah. Note is a group effort. It's not me. It's not one person. All right. So I hope you find some time to discuss your characters and then to actually do it, so that by Monday I can see how you're fleshing out your characters. Note also that different groups have different interpretation of their character. Okay. All right. Okay. Anybody else? Any question?
Catherine, for your information, BWC Studios have yet to choose their final story. So they will tell
okay.
us by Monday also.
Okay, all right, no worries. What you could do is put up your story once you have chosen. I think you got all the book covers. Serendipity, I'm going to put up, yeah, but no group name. All right, so I'll just put up Serendipity, okay, and your group members. So at least I have an idea what which group. So we have altogether 6 groups, right, Amy?
We have 6 groups, correct?
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you are the inaugural PYFA, Philippine Young Filmmaker Award. Yeah. All right. So we're looking forward to hearing from you to look at what you are going to do. And I'm very excited, seriously. Yeah. Look forward to all your films. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. If there are no questions, then if you have copied down the Google Docs, assessed it, all right, then I think yeah, I think my session is coming to an end. Okay,
Thank you
great.
so
1 hour.
Catherine, thank you so much. Are you sure you don't have questions anymore? All right.
Anybody?
Anyway, you may message Miss Catherine also anytime, right? Miss
Yes,
Catherine
yeah.
may email you. And maybe just a short announcement. On March 24, you're going to have your film adaptation and art appreciation workshop with Professor Patrick Campos. On March 31, you're going to have your film production techniques workshop. So that refers to production and post-production techniques with Mr. Christopher Brugada, documentary filmmaker, Palanca Memorial for Literature, George Foster Peabody, New York Festivals and Japan Prize awardee. And then on April 14, but I have yet to confirm this, we'll have your film directing workshop with Martika Escobar, director and Sundance Film Festival awardee.
Great. Wow. Okay, anyone, no questions? All right. So what, Amy, so I'll send you the Zoom recording, right? You need that.
Oh, yes. Okay. Or we can also send it to Rafi. So she
Oh yeah, I'll
can
send it to Rafi. Yeah, the link, so you can download that. Yeah, because I think I need that for the, the website itself. Yeah. Okay. All right.
And
So thank you, everybody. You've been great. Sorry.
Thank you, Catherine, for mentioning that the students don't have to put in film everything that's in the book. So that means also your characters need not be everyone in the story. So you may just choose, I don't know, the main characters for you.
Yeah, a 10-minute film, you can't do the whole book, seriously. But speak to your 2 other professors or the filmmakers, because you have to take a certain snippet, a certain scene. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
A round of applause for Miss Catherine. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. All right. So I hope to see you all. All right. In July or June. Yeah. All right. We'll discuss the dates, Amy. Yeah. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye bye, everybody. Take care.
Goodbye and thank you.
Bye.
Right.